How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video, I'm going to be debuting 5 brand new future star cards, so let's go ahead and get right into it. If you watched the previous video, then you saw that I unlocked 2 future star cards, and I picked Gunnar Henderson and Bryson Stott just to kind of try out 2 different infielders, one that's more of a power hitter, one that's more of a contact hitter. But this is the current squad that I'm going to be using in ranked seasons. It's been a little bit since I've played some ranked seasons, just because we've had a lot of different events released, and the event rewards are really good. If you earn the maximum amount of cumulative wins, then you can probably walk away with about 50k stubs, especially after the rewind packs. But anyway, Henderson and Stott were the 2 players I picked, and I'm also going to try out Oswald Peraza, Austin Hendrick, and Bobby Miller. I picked these cards up off of the marketplace. They have kind of dropped down in price. I expect them to continue to drop down in price. But so far, my favorite one of these cards is Austin Hendrick, or at least my favorite hitter. Bobby Miller, I think, is the best pitcher, and I'm looking forward to unlocking the next choice pack that will allow me to pick Jackson Jobe so I can try him out. And I am going to get into some ranked. I only have about 5 games left. But in this specific event game, Austin Hendrick blasted 2 home runs. You'll see these clips later on in the video as well, but I wanted to kind of include a couple highlights. I am excited to try this Bobby Miller out. I know that he is one of the top pitchers in the game, if not second best behind Randy Johnson. But there are quite a few guys that are very valuable from this most recent program. A lot of people said I ranked Taglia too low, and that might be true, right? That might be true. He looks like a good card. But all these future star cards are good. I kind of just wanted to rank them in terms of value and in terms of what I need, as well as which players I would like to get right away, which guys I think are going to be good. But here, Bryson Stott beats out an infield single, and then we have Gunnar Henderson just swung too late on that pitch. If I was earlier out in front of it, might have pulled it for a home run there down the right field line. But at the same time, I just wasn't playing that well yesterday with a couple of these brand new players, right? My swing was slightly off just because I had been playing a bunch of games against the computer, really trying to grind this program and do all the moments, missions, and parallel XP stuff that goes along with it, and that kind of messed up my timing a little bit playing on rookie. But I'm not going to make any excuses. We're going to try and get some gameplay with some of these brand new diamonds. I'm still, trying Babe Ruth out for the first few games. Probably got about 15, 20 games under my belt with him. And that is probably my best hitter since picking him up. Babe Ruth has definitely been my favorite card since he's been released. But throughout the entire year, my favorite card's probably been Live Series Ronald Acuna. I've used him and probably Fernando Tatis the most out of any of the cards this year. But at the same time, that's just personal preference. I like mixing it up a little bit. Here we have our only base hit with Gunnar Henderson. Didn't really get anything going with that card at the plate. But like I mentioned earlier, just didn't have the swing down. Did not have the swing down. I am going to try out all 30 of the future stars eventually. Just might take me a little bit of time. I wanted to try out, select few here and there, mix it up with some event gameplay, and then hop into ranked with some of the guys that I feel comfortable using. So that way I can try to make a push towards World Series, because I have not done that this year at all. Mainly just focused on the events. And I see the comments. I know you guys want to see some ranked, so that's my plan. And I think the next event, or at least an event in the near future, would probably be the Future Star event, right? Kind of like how they did the Face of the Franchise. We'll do the Future of the Franchise event, probably, and you might be able to use Face of the Franchise cards, too. And I think that might be a cool opportunity to try some of those Future Star cards out and determine which cards I want to use in ranked seasons. But anyway, George Brett with a walk-off lefty. I've had a slow start with this George Brett card. He is very good, obviously. But it's his swing. He has a very similar type of swing to Joe Morgan, and every once in a while, those types of swings throw me off. I tend to drop the PCI more with players that have a one-handed swing. I don't know what it is. But here we have Oswald Peraza, and that's a weird corkscrew double down the right field line, just late on the cutter. Somehow kept the ball fair there. But this card kind of reminds me a lot like Carlos Correa, or what Carlos Correa has been in the past in terms of MLB The Show, right? High contact, he does have 80 power. Carlos Correa has had more power in the past. But he just kind of reminds me like that. And obviously, Oswald Peraza has more speed, which is nice. But here, Bobby Miller, we're getting a couple of strikeouts. Just wanted to try and get some gameplay here with this card. The splitter is insane. After pumping in 101, 102, dropping in a 83, 84, 85 mile per hour splitter. Just not even really fair, to be honest. However, some players that have the dead red quirk will have an advantage against a type of pitcher like this that does not have, a changeup, especially if the other hitter has dead red and breaking ball quirk. There's not really anything you can throw with Bobby Miller that's not going to activate those quirks, because a split finger fastball is technically a fastball. But here, Austin Hendrick definitely reminds me a lot like Nolan Gorman. Obviously, he doesn't play infield. He doesn't play third base, first base. But that card has a very similar swing, a very similar load animation, similar no doubter. Just reminds me a lot of Nolan Gorman. And I think that Austin Hendrick might be one of the better future star cards, at least for me personally. Typically, when I'm debuting a card, if I am able to hit a home run, in the very first game, typically I'll do well with that player. But it doesn't have to be a home run, right? It could just be feeling comfortable at the plate with that card, with that specific swing. And honestly, out of the 5 players that I've used, Oswald Peraza and Austin Hendrick played the best for me. It was 2 separate days, so I felt like I was playing a little bit better this morning than I was last night. But obviously, I would definitely give these guys more of a sample size before making that determination. But I do feel pretty confident about my rankings. There were a couple players that you might, swap out here and there for different guys depending on what you specifically were looking for. But all these future star cards are great. The Oswald Peraza and the Austin Hendrick are probably the 2 better hitters that I've used out of the 4 that I've tried so far. But in the next video, I do want to try Justin Foscue because he has a very glitchy swing. I want to try Khalil Watson, of course. I had him ranked at number 2. And the only reason I haven't tried him yet is just because I have too many lefties in my lineup. And that's part of why I ranked some of the right-handed infielders a little bit higher than some of the other players. Just because I feel like we have a ton of left-handed bats in the game now. I also feel like we have a good amount of catchers to choose from, first baseman. But with that being said, we do have a few free packs to open up. I have about, 500,000 stubs, plus I have more stubs in my bank. Some people have asked me, how did you get so many stubs after unlocking George Brett? And I had those stubs already. This 500,000 basically came from me selling some of the extra cards that I didn't need, and also quick selling some of the cards that I bought at quick sell value. So there was kind of just a wash there. But with that said, these are the 2 cards I'm going to try in the next video. And if I'm not able to get any ranked seasons games uploaded today, then look for that tomorrow at some point. But that's going to do it for this video. I'm College Lefty, and hopefully you all enjoyed. Peace out.